All right, welcome everybody. I want to introduce to you Lisa Renee. Lisa and I kind of met originally through the ACFW critique group about 2 years ago, I believe it was. So I'm excited to have Lisa Renee here with us for this interview. Welcome. Glad you're
G'day.
here.
G'day from Australia.
Yeah, that's right. So
I'm
it's
Aussie.
it's nighttime where I am and it's morning where you are.
Mm.
So we can talk across the miles. So I want to open up the interview with you just sharing a little bit about yourself and your family.
Okay, so one of the big things that I get to say to people is I have 7 children. Everyone's like, so
Yeah.
when I have 4 children, people are like, 4 kids? Oh, it's only one more than 3, but now it's like 7.
Yeah.
So it's good to see people's reactions, but it's not as hard as people think. You have one at a time. And my oldest is turning 20 and my youngest is 6. So, but yes, that's lots of fun and challenging as well, being a parent with
Right.
teenagers and young adults, and then making decisions and letting them go. And
Mhm.
so, but yeah, so last year, my last 3, I was homeschooling, and some of my boys have gone to school before as well. But my last 3, I've sent to school, to a private school, and now I'm writing and marketing full time. So I help authors as well. I have run the collaborative press. At the collaborative press, it's just helping people to self-publish. So we don't publish for them, but we just have contractors and editors and graphic designers, and I'm the one who does the marketing. So I've got 20 years experience of sales and marketing. It's just something that I just love doing. I just started lots of businesses in the past, and I've even done my own organic smoothies line, my own brand, Give Back Organics. And what else do we do? Lattes, like turmeric lattes, beetroot lattes.
Yeah.
we were living in a town that was very much eco-friendly, and people created businesses, and so that was when a season in my life that was really great. But I started writing about 3 years ago, and yeah, it's just my passion, and it's so awesome to meet lovely Christian authors. It's such a great community, and we all help each other. And I think that's probably one of the best things about it, actually. Like, my best friends are now in America. I message in the morning and night, my critique group, and and Naomi Craig is a good friend of mine. We're doing behind the story interviews together, and I love that, because I like to chat with people online and get to meet authors, the ones that I've seen on Facebook and their comments, and we've become friends on Facebook, but actually to have a bit of time with them.
Yeah.
It's a great community. Well, I know it's in general, authors help a lot, but the Christian community as well, definitely.
Yeah,
It's a
that's one
beautiful.
thing I've said too over these last couple of years. It just there's nothing like the Christian writing community. They are so supportive and just kind, and it's not competition. It's really cheering for each other. And so I love that too. So what made you decide to write romance novels?
Okay, well, I started with women's fiction with a strong romance thread. I thought it was romance, probably, but romance has a certain. It's just about the couple and their journey and their relationship getting together, and obviously dealing with their character arc, like their spiritual arc. But this one had other dynamics in it. There was a pregnant teenager in it, my first one, More Than a Second Chance. So officially it's a women's fiction. So they get to the point where they actually do get engaged, but then there's lots of chaos that happens. And how I feel is just getting together, that's great. That is a big step, but that's pretty easy to find someone and fall in love. That's the easy part. But the working out the challenges and your differences and your beliefs and your lifestyles, especially my first one's an older couple in their early 40s. So they've got their baggage, but they've got the independence that they're used to, and then having to blend that together. And then the youth worker, her time is taken up with these young people and troubled youth, and there's a bit of chaos that comes with that. So that's a big thing. So there's well, often with your first book, you like put a lot of stuff in it. So there's,
Yeah.
because she's a youth worker, she is dealing with a lot of, it's lots of humor and romance, but there's a lot of grit in my books. They're dealing with the tough stuff, real life stuff.
Yeah. So what unique challenges would you say you face in your writing and sharing those gritty kind of things?
Yes. So what the aim was for my first two books, even the third one, my series, Single Again series, a lot of them, they have some main issue that I think the church in general and Christians in general, some might find, it might be, if their life's going really great in the area and they haven't had these experiences, it'd probably be easy to judge, like I know when I was a new Christian and full on for God and all this kind of stuff, and I thought the solution was this, I knew the answer. And but as you go on and in life and things happen, and you're working out your salvation and that kind of stuff. So there's some people that have had things like the first woman, divorce. She's gone through a partner cheating on her husband cheating, so she's single again. And the second one as well, her husband passed away, but it wasn't quite an abusive relationship. So these are real things that actually happen. And then the second one, she's dealing with a troubled teenager. So it is a bit gritty because, I don't go into it too much. I don't want to glorify sin in any way, but that's their backstory, or that's what they're working through. And the third one does deal with a bit of mental health. So some of the concepts that perhaps some Christians might sort of have some blinders on in those areas. But if you're experiencing that through the character's point of view, you might have more compassion and really understanding what they're going through. And so as Christians, that when we see people in our church or going through that, we can have more understanding. And for those who have gone through that, these stories can show that God can restore and bring you, restoration and heal you and bring some happily ever afters, I hope.
Yeah,
So I did a newsletter recently about my first book, the ladies, based on a true story, but that lady I wrote 4 years ago, three and a half years ago, that lady has got her happy ever after just Christmas last year.
Oh.
So that was really awesome, because that's what I hoped for her.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was just getting ready to ask you next. Are any of your stories based on real life experiences or personal experiences or people that you know?
Yeah, so the first three are, and the one I'm working on is just a character that's been in two of the books, and that one is fictional. But the first three, the main character is based on the true story. Yeah. So the Polarized Love, this one here, is based on a younger version of my new mother-in-law. So my father-in-law, his wife passed away and he's remarried, and she's been single. She was single for 10 or so years, but she married someone very quickly, and that's the story of how she got involved with someone and how that happened. And anyway, but it's a good happy ever after. That was quite a fun rom-com sort of style, but it definitely will get you in laughing, get you in, and then sucker punch you with some truth and a big twist, whoa, I was not expecting that to happen.
Oh, good. Sounds good. So how long on average would you say it takes you to write a book? You said you've been writing for 3 years and you have 3 books published now, and you're working on a 4th and a 5th?
Yes. So I've got 5 books officially finished, but 3 are published. And if I want to, I can, I plot out my story over a month and marinate it and thinking about it. And then, I can write it in a month if I want to. That's if I'm focusing. This one that I'm writing at the moment, I'm just taking 2 months. So I'm just doing 1 month of speech to text, and then I'm going to do 1 month of editing and adding things and filling it out. So, but I'm not writing a book every month. I might write, 2 or 3 books, but I am very big on marketing and building platform and doing other stuff, helping authors. So that takes a bit of my time, and plus 7 children. And the husband probably takes more time than the 7 children.
Yeah, I can't imagine myself right now writing more than one a year because it takes me so long to figure out how to do it right, to do it well. So I'm still working on the first two.
Yeah, it does get easier and quicker. Like definitely the less have editing, and
Oh yeah.
I mean I have a professional editor and have my critique group. But yeah, it's much, you get quicker and faster,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
comes natural to you. Yeah.
Right. So what other kind of hobbies do you have? What do you enjoy doing besides your writing?
Well, there's not much after than that.
Not much time outside of that.
Yeah, so I like walking, I like nature, and I obviously spend time with the kids, playing games with them, going away on holidays, that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
socializing. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I guess what's my interest, I'm not a big Netflix person and TV person, so I hardly watch any TV.
Mm-hmm.
So reading, and I discovered my iPhone can read my Kindle app, so that's really awesome. So I am getting a
Yes.
lot more done. It's reading to me.
So do you
Yeah,
find that you read what you write, or do you like other genres too in your reading?
mainly what I write, but I do like historical fiction as well, just to mix it up a bit, and biblical fiction. Yeah. And in our critique group, we have, so Naomi does biblical fiction, and Donna, she does lots of stuff. She does non-fiction as well, fantasy, and she's doing I just read her historical fiction, and it's something that I wouldn't normally read. It's quite a very gritty bit of violence because it's war and stuff like. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying this war story, which I did
Yeah.
not think. I'm a bit of a wuss. I do not like watching any violence or blood or anything. So yeah, but it's an eye opener. I do like history. Yeah, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So when you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up? Did you think at all about writing when you were a kid?
No, I did not think about writing. So that's just something, like I was saying, I was reading lots of Christian fiction, in the last 5 or so years. And then I really wanted to write this girl story, because there were a lot of stories that I was reading, like library books, Christian library books. A lot of it was historical fiction. I was learning a lot about America, but they were very sweet, and, like, get married, and that was the end of the story. And I was just saying, I just wanted to, this girl, this lady had been through a lot of tragedy, and the relationships, that she'd been in wasn't necessarily her fault, what happened to her. So I wanted to put that out. I wanted to show off a bit of Australia. So I have American characters in my book, but most of them are based in Australia. The third one is San Diego and Australia. But yeah, I wanted to show off my country and as well, and put a little bit of stuff in there. So.
Right. So if you weren't a writer, what would you do as a career?
Well, I have always been a business owner. So my husband and I, we were running this business called Perth Organics, where we were a food business, and we would deliver organic food and, dare I say, on the internet, raw milk, bath milk. So it's illegal to drink unpasteurized milk in Australia and a lot of places. So this was bath milk. Anyway, it's a bit controversial, but we did that for 5.5 years. I love that. I had 3 children during that time, but I had admin people come and do 30 hours of admin in my home, in my office, and they would come and ask me questions, while I was feeding the baby. So I found that having children and family, doesn't have to stop you from doing other things. I definitely prioritize my family. And so that's a part of why I homeschooled, because I can still do business things from home, but be there for the kids and all that kind of stuff, and spend time with them. But definitely a business business person. I
Yeah.
cannot help myself. So we built that up and we sold that business. And then when I went down south, and then I started up another one. So doing the actual manufacturing of organic products. So
Yeah, which goes right along with your indie publishing that you've been able to do, because you're kind of an entrepreneur there.
yes, that's why I really do love indie publishing. I'm open to traditional publishing, but yeah, I love all aspects of it. And now, yeah, I just couldn't help myself and started a business to help other authors because I was thinking, I'm learning all this stuff, and there's a lot of people that, oh, well, how do I do this? How do I do that? Oh, I'd rather just pay someone to do that. I don't want to learn all this savvy stuff. And it is good for people to learn if they can themselves. But yeah, we just help on the way for the newbies and stuff like that, and lots of free advice and that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. So let's talk a little bit about your latest release, Polarized Love. Tell me a little bit about that. The characters, easiest character to write, the hardest character to write.
Right. Okay. So in this story, Beth is sorry. I'm seeing on the screen. Beth is the Australian she's a pastor's daughter, and she's been faithful. Her mother was sick earlier on, and she became the mum, bringing up her younger siblings. And then her mum passed away a few years ago, and she pretty much became the wife. She was the assistant pastor. And, you know, help raise the rest of the children. And now it's like when the start of the book, she's just 2 years free from that. You know, the kids are grown up. But she's like in her early 30s, and all the great guys in her church are married off. She was busy raising her siblings, and being responsible and helping build the church with her dad. And then all the good guys, in her opinion, had gone. So she starts getting a little bit desperate. She's a little bit desperate. So when this charming, there are two characters, I don't want to spoil it too much, but so there's a bit of a love triangle. The men don't actually meet each other, but there's a bit of a love triangle. So you have to work out which is the good one and which is the not so good one, because they're both quite, you know, nice guys and love God and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but there is a bit of a twist in there, and there's some mental health and things, and she gets swept away, goes to America. She's caught up in someone else's dream and ambition. And then she just is finding herself and what is being content with who she is and what her calling is. And it doesn't have to be all the flashy lights and stuff. And you know, because she's been in her father's shadow for so many years, and you know, and the assistant pastor, and so yeah, it's just finding your identity. And I think a lot of people do go through that from their 30s to 40s to 50s, even like, what am I meant to be doing, God? You know, what's this about? And comparing yourself to what other people are doing. So
yeah, sounds like a good message for all of us. So what's next from you? What can we look for next?
Okay, so after this one, No Filter is the next one in the series, which will be out June 22nd. And that's Beth's housemate, but she's also in book one. She's the pregnant teen in book one. And so this is 5 years on. So, and she's going to the church that Beth goes to. And yeah, so she's come from a very domineering father household. So in book one, you just get to see what her dad's like. So she had a troubled teenage history. She was on drugs, and that's why the youth worker in book one helped her through that and convinced her to keep the baby when she got pregnant. And now it's her story. So she is restored, she's saved, and, you know, and happy and all that, content and doing well, but there are still some things, you know, it's our salvation. We work out our salvation. So she's going through the next stages, and then her conceptions, her preconceived ideas of men and fear of marriage, because she doesn't want to be controlled by a domineering male. So that's something she needs to overcome. So, but that's a lot of fun. I got the male, the hero. It's American videographer. He's a lot of fun, and he's got a little boy. So there's just some really fun scenes with the kids in as well, because young kids can say the funniest things at the most awkward time.
Yeah.
And the truth come out. So
how many books in the series? Is there more after this fourth one?
Perhaps. There is another character in there that he is going to be involved in another series I'm doing with some Australian authors. And so I might give him his story, and I might link the two series. So yeah, going to be a bit tricky there.
Yeah.
Think out of the box.
It's a lot going on for you. It's exciting. It's really exciting. Yeah. And I know you have offered to give an e-copy, I believe, of Polarized Love to one of the people who comment on this post. So I'll be excited to see who's going to win that. And I wish I could win too. Anyway, is there anything you want to add before we wrap up? Any last words?
Yeah, well, I just love to connect to readers and new people. I do have the first 6 chapters of this is sort of like a nice novella, like a very romantic, before you get into all the serious stuff that happens in the story. But on Rottnest Island is an island off Western Australia, and we have this rare marsupial called the quokka. And it's like a mini kangaroo, and it's mainly just on this island. It's a 30-minute ferry ride for me. And so Beth is a reporter. She's trying to get into the industry. She's an editor at a local newspaper, but she wants to be a reporter. So she wants to get the scoop on why the quokkas are, dying off. There's something going on. And that's how she meets this chaplain, this American Navy chaplain. He helps her. So yeah, that is for free. So maybe we'll put a link on your blog or on this video. The first 6 chapters, it's quite fun and romantic, and then you get to meet a quokka and find out what they are, and they smile for the camera. They've got this little smile. They're quite cute. So people go to this island just to get a selfie with these little creatures and find them.
Sounds good. Well, we'll put all the links with the posts so people can connect with you and follow your journey. So thanks so much for joining me on this interview. I've really enjoyed getting to know you and to talk to you kind of face to face, not just in an email on a critique group. So blessings to you and your writing and all your future endeavors.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
All right. Have a good one.
See ya.